No city, no community does more to mitigate extreme heat as a public health threat than the city of Phoenix. But as a city, as part of a greater metro area, and as a state, we know we still need to do better. We continue to tailor our efforts. My colleagues on the City Council and I have one goal in mind when we developed our updated plan: to save more lives. Getting this done took a whole of government approach. Our cooling centers were staffed with on-the-ground support teams that help connect residents with resources and community services to end their homelessness, substance use, or housing instability. We had a great success story at this facility where we were able to connect someone with housing with Faith House Phoenix, and they were immediately housed. I'm incredibly proud that our hardworking staff were able to connect 751 individuals with life-changing resources. The site behind me served as our 24/7 Respite Center, complete with areas with children to play and for people to bring their pets. Opening a 24-hour cooling center requires significant resources, and it's not as simple as just identifying a building. Not only does the city provide a physical building, but we must also fund 24-hour staffing, security, increased custodial services, and other resources. On top of that, operating dozens of other centers across our city, including 3 extended hour centers, requires a dedicated effort and funding. But our city employs some of the hardest workers in the country, and they understand how important it is to get this right. We know that saving lives is one of the best investments we can make in our community. But I do want to be clear, Phoenix cannot do this alone. More illnesses would be prevented, more lives saved, more neighbors would be at the dining table each night with additional support from the county, state, or federal government. Heat does not stop at municipal boundaries. I'm grateful for the city of Chandler, which stepped up to do more on summer heat relief than ever before. Thankfully, this summer was not as extreme as 2024, but the trend is unmistakable. Our summer heat continues to intensify. We saw 84 degrees at or above 100 and 37 days above 110 degrees. As we start planning for next summer, I'm once again calling upon the county, the state, and the federal government to step up and provide funding, facilities, and services necessary to save more lives. I and my colleagues at the City Council are committed to doing all we can to combat the dangers of extreme heat. But Phoenix has long carried a disproportionate burden, and our city cannot continue to serve as the heat resource hub for the county and the state. I'm so grateful for my colleagues on the city who have been incredible leaders, and now I get to introduce one of them to you, my friend, the chair of our Public Safety and Justice Subcommittee, Councilman Kevin Robinson.
Well, good morning and welcome to everybody. You know, I want to begin by thanking the mayor. She has been an exceptional leader throughout this whole thing, providing that vision and guidance, and we're truly appreciative of that. We have Rachel Milne here from the Office of Homeless Solutions, Dave Hundula with the Office of Heat Resource and Mitigation, and Community Bridges, and everyone who played a role in the Heat Respite Center. So it's something we truly appreciate, because I'm encouraged to see the success of the center over this past summer. I want to thank our police officers. Assistant Chief Brian Lee is here. Thank our police officers who are excellent partners working in an off-duty capacity to ensure safety to those who use the center throughout the summertime and to the neighborhoods all summer long. Heat relief centers are a benefit to our police officers and firefighters, giving vulnerable people a cool place to stay rather than battle the summer heat. Once inside the respite centers, the center turns into a resource center for all of the residents who need to avail themselves of the center. Our Office of Homeless Solutions is working with the Phoenix Police citywide to help officers connect people who are experiencing homelessness, connect them to the services that are necessary and they need. And, you know, we say in the city, we're going to lead with services, meaning that our public safety officers, our police officers, our firefighters, they are always going to be in a position to offer resources to people we encounter on the streets. Our Fire Department Community Assistance Program, also known as CAP, has played a critical role in helping transport people in need to help them escape the heat and any other services that they may happen to need. So the bottom line is we're doing everything we can as a city to provide resources to those who need it the most. I hope the success of the Respite Center I hope the success of this Respite Center serves as an example to other cities that investing in the health and safety of your residents is attainable and it is most impactful. For again, I want to thank our public safety partners, thank the mayor for her leadership, and thank everyone else involved in this that are helping those in our community who need the help the most. So with that, I thank you very much, and I think that I will turn it over to Assistant Fire Chief Steve Kreis. I said Steve, his dad, Tim Kreis. I apologize. I do that all the time.
Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Mayor Gallego. Thank you, Councilman Robinson, for the introduction and your excellent leadership, as well as the rest of the council. This year, more than 44,000 times, a person visited one of our cooling and navigation centers. These visits are a clear example of how working collaboratively reduces community risk and saves lives. Every person who walked into a cooling center instead of suffering alone in dangerous heat is a reminder that prevention works. Each one of the 44,000 visits could have resulted in a 911 call, a medical emergency. By offering safe, cool places to rest, get water, and connect with resources, these centers intervened before an emergency occurred. Heat relief centers don't just serve individuals in need, they also reduce strain on our emergency response system. By preventing heat-related emergencies, our fire and medical units remain available for other urgent calls, like structure fires, other types of fires, vehicle accidents, other types of medical emergencies. This year, our Community Assistance Program and its community partners played a critical role in protecting our residents during extreme heat. In addition to responding to other calls for service, these teams helped transport nearly 2,600 people to heat relief centers where they received cooling, hydration, and life-saving resources. In addition to all that, the Phoenix Fire Department's innovation and implementation of the cold water immersion protocol, now an industry-leading standard that rapidly reverses heat stroke, is allowing patients who would have probably died or suffered severe deficits to walk out of the hospital on the same day. From May 1st to September 30th during our heat response season, this cold water immersion treatment was provided to 161 patients in the city of Phoenix. This season demonstrates what happens when city departments, nonprofits, community partners work together. We save lives, reduce emergencies, and keep our 911 system running efficiently during some of the most challenging months of the year. Again, I want to thank Mayor Gallego, Council, City Manager's Office, my colleagues. I want to thank Assistant Chief Brian Lee from the Phoenix Police Department. Aaron, I see you're here with the Library Department. We've had amazing partners through all of this. Thank Chief Duran for his outstanding leadership on the Fire Department and leading this group. Also want to thank our amazing employees who work so hard to make this possible and provide great services to our community. You're going to hear from a couple of our team colleagues, Dr. Andula and Rachel Melny, our partners, and I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Dr. David Andula from the Office of Heat Response and Mitigation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief and Mayor and Councilman, and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Just to build on something that the Mayor was saying earlier, working in a heat office in the city of Phoenix on a day like today, I'll often hear questions from the public, oh, this must be an easy day for you, or it's your season to relax. And as the Mayor said, heat is a year-round challenge for us, and I think there's a fair argument to be made that these are the days, this is the time of the year that's the most critical as we are evaluating what happened this past season and planning for next season. It is a year-round effort, and we have an amazing collaborative team working on that effort. One of our responsibilities in the Office of Heat Response and Mitigation is to coordinate the citywide heat response plan that the Mayor and Councilman alluded to earlier. It's updated annually with input from a host of city departments and of course with the guidance and leadership from our City Council. The heat response plan reflects our intent to comprehensively address heat health challenges throughout Phoenix with 30 specific actions addressing 8 strategic priorities. To build upon the Chief's comments on the collaborative spirit that underpins our heat response work, I'd like to highlight a sample of some of the other actions in the plan beyond heat relief sites where we made important improvements this year with the help of many partners. In particular, I'd like to express our deep appreciation for the many volunteers that contributed hundreds of hours to help the community. One of the strategic priorities in the plan is to ensure cool and healthy homes. This year, for the first time, we partnered with the Red Cross to conduct heat relief outreach campaigns in mobile and manufactured home communities. In Maricopa County, mobile and manufactured homes account for about 5% of the housing stock, yet they account for more than 25% of indoor heat-related deaths. We thank the many volunteers who joined us to knock on doors and speak to residents to share information about city resources that can help reduce that disproportionate burden. Another strategic priority is to ensure that our residents and visitors can enjoy cool and safe recreation, even in our heat season. On weekend mornings, all season long, we've had outreach teams stationed at our most popular hiking trailheads throughout the city to promote safe hiking practices in line with our city's Take a Hike, Do It Right campaign. We appreciate the many volunteers from the Community Emergency Response Team and our Park Steward programs who engaged with thousands of hikers throughout the summer. And finally, worker safety in the heat season has been a topic of increasing attention nationally and certainly here in Phoenix. In 2024, our City Council passed an ordinance aimed at keeping the employees of businesses that contract with our city safe, prompting our contract partners to have and implement heat safety plans that give attention to shade, rest, and water. We're very grateful to the members of our Heat Worker Safety Advisory Committee who are guiding the implementation of this ordinance and helping us think about how we can support workers even better in the future. We'll now turn our focus back to our major investments in heat relief sites, and especially here at 20 West Jackson. Please join me in welcoming the Director of Phoenix's Office of Homeless Solutions and an unbelievably inspiring partner and leader in this work, Rachel Milne.
Good morning, everyone. This summer, the City of Phoenix took action to protect our most vulnerable residents from extreme heat. At the heart of that effort was this 24-hour respite site, which was open to anyone in need, but it was an essential lifeline for people experiencing homelessness. At this site, we not only provided a cool place to rest, we provided navigation and case management services, which means we helped people take meaningful steps toward ending their homelessness. That included connections to emergency shelter, housing programs, reuniting people with family members, and helping them access mental and behavioral health services. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the dedicated staff from the Office of Homeless Solutions and our incredible partners at Community Bridges. These teams were on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from May 1st to September 30th, offering support, compassion, and expertise to those in need. Because of their efforts, 751 individuals, many of them members of families with minor children, were connected to additional services that will help them move toward stability and permanent housing. We're so grateful to have had this building behind me. The large, flexible space we had this year allowed us to serve a high volume of people while also offering dedicated space for families with minor children, a separate space for women, and ensuring dignity and safety of everyone. Guests could charge their phone while accessing the air conditioning and receiving water, escaping the dangerous heat. I want to recognize the volunteers and many partner organizations who supported us at this site this summer. Circle the City, Street Medicine Phoenix, Terrace Health, and ASU nursing students who provided free medical care on site. Their presence made a real difference. And because we know pets are family too, we were very happy that this site also offered a space where people could bring their pets into the air conditioning and have an outdoor area with artificial turf, giving people peace of mind that their companions were safe and cool as well. I also want to thank Maricopa County for their partnership and funding support this summer. Their collaboration helped make this heat relief effort possible. And to our colleagues at Downtown Phoenix Inc., who helped us regularly connect with all of our neighbors around this space so that we could ensure that our activities didn't have a negative effect on our neighbors in this area. We're extremely grateful for your partnership. And while most of us are looking ahead next week to the holidays, we are already preparing for next summer. We are not slowing down. We're building on the momentum we've created over the last several years. We've learned a lot, especially this summer, and we're already applying those lessons learned to help more people when the triple digits return. And as I turn it over to Mayor Gallego, I just want to thank the mayor and the council, specifically Councilmember Robinson, for all of their support and efforts to help people experiencing homelessness this summer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel, and thank you to all of our speakers here today. The City of Phoenix is committed to continuing our innovative efforts around summer heat. We welcome as many partners as we can have. The more people at the table to do this work, the more success we can have. A huge thank you to all of the experts who are with us here today. We have individuals from multiple departments from library and police, in addition to the folks who spoke. If you have any questions, and now we will go to questions. So this is the main 24/7, but we do have in the greater Maricopa area 111. So.
Now that we're at the end of summer, what will this building be used for? What will those respite centers be used for?
So we have, if you want to hear specifically about this building, do you want to speak specifically? Many of those centers were churches and libraries, and so they will continue with their more traditional operations. So we, as the Valley Mayors, meet very regularly. Maricopa Association of Governments is an important partner. That's our regional council of governments, and we get regular updates. We just heard from Maricopa County and from Chief Price about the summer report on numbers. I would love to see more cities have 24/7. I also think Maricopa County residents who are not incorporated inside a city boundary ought to have overnight heat relief. We see power outages in every part of our community, and we want to make sure if that happens overnight, people have a safe place to go. So I'm hopeful every year we'll be able to announce new heat relief locations and more 24/7 heat relief, because we know when it's 110 in the day, sometimes it gets still incredibly hot at night, and so we need more 24/7 heat relief. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll continue to provide updates. Perhaps we have learned how to impact the weather, so when it gets too hot, maybe we will have heat relief press conferences and get a cold spell. Thank you for joining us. Great job, everyone. Do you want in front of the...
It's about ready to respond.
I thought, if you wanted to.